you've been doing this for a few years now.
Couple.
Still heading into the first day of practice, it's still the same kind of buzz for you as it was when you first started.
Well, I can't even remember when I first started, but yeah, there's always excitement. Every team's different, so you're just excited to get this group together and anticipating that, it'll all come together by the end of the year and more.
A lot of your girls are playing in the summer, all around the country, in some cases the world, and they're not together as much like some other teams in there. When they get back, does it take a little while to get acclimated to playing together again?
I do. I mean, we have 9 returners, so I hope that they have that pulse. But adding some of these other kids in and having them separated over the summer months, there's definitely that. All right, preseason, we got to kind of get a feel for each other and understanding of what our strengths and weaknesses are as a team. So that team chemistry is huge in preseason.
Is the way you've attacked preseason, has that changed through the years, or has it basically does it depend on the kind of team you have as to how you approach how you're going to do things?
Every preseason's different. I don't think I could ever say to you that I've had the same preseason that I've had in years past. Even if I went back to my old practices, they would be different. So every team's different. Obviously, we didn't have Keisha and Ashley in the beginning of years, or Vanessa or whoever it was. I had to change it then, and this preseason will definitely be different.
I mean, every year you lose great players every year. That no different coming into this year. I mean, I know the players that come through this program, they know that so-and-so won't be here the next year and so forth. You wouldn't think it would have that much of an effect on them, at least mentally.
Yeah, there's, the upperclassmen know that, losing a senior class is something that they have to fill, and that expectation will be on them. But you can't replace players. You just hope that other people step up in leadership roles and bring something to fill the role that's needed when the seniors leave. So there has been great players that, have left, and, hopefully we'll continue to fill those roles in.
It stands out, will you have the whole team together for the whole year? Does anyone have to leave for national team duty, or as it stands right now?
As of now, at this moment, no, but there are some camps coming up, so we will have people in and out a little bit, but nothing like last year in that World Cup year or the Olympic year. So, but we might see some players in and out, but just not as lengthy.
Do you have a preseason checklist of things that need to get worked on in the preseason and the scrimmages, and what are some of those question marks you have about this team?
Yes, we do. I think that, Keisha and Ashley were a huge voice, so we definitely need that voice, and we're going to have to find that leadership on the field. Center back position, there's no question that that's going to be a role in midfield. Those two will be definitely positions that we need to fill, and but then it's also exciting to see the rotation and depth that some of these freshmen can bring just in other positions. But I would probably say, of course, those 2 positions are going to be really important for us to find those roles quickly. But I know the upperclassmen have come in and worked hard spring, summer, and want to fill those positions right away.
How do you feel about the new players that you brought to the program? How do you feel like their development's coming along?
I've learned a long time ago never to, comment on freshmen, because you just really never know what freshmen can do, and your expectation is very hopeful, but at the end of the day, they got a lot to adjust to. So, and some of these kids I haven't seen in a while, so I look forward to getting them out on the field and seeing what they can bring. But, I always have high expectations, but at the end of the day, it's tough to come in here and step in as a freshman, but I hope a lot of them do that.
Many teams can bring in a Virginia, Penn State, and Duke into their home field. Plus your opener at Georgetown. Who is responsible for that? Someone that wanted you out?
Absolutely, someone who's fully in charge of scheduling, and that would be me. I mean, Todd, you've been with me as long as I've been here. When have I ever shied away from a non-conference schedule like this? I mean, of course, we have the luxury of having these 3 teams at home, but I think if we went back and looked at the tradition of our non-conference schedule, it would kind of look the same.
If that that doesn't get you ready for Big 12, nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing,
right,
yes.
right. If it gets me fired, so one or the other.
What do you think of Georgetown right off the bat? Final Four team and a team that you lost to here last year. How much of a motivation is that to start out with them?
You hit the nail right on the head. There's not much more motivation than that. You just need to go into that locker room behind me and make sure that the girls just heard your comment. But yes, they have Corbaz coming back. I mean, she's an incredible national kind of caliber midfielder. Making that Final Four and what Georgetown did last year is just incredible. And I know Dave Nolan, I have all the respect in the world for him. I know that team will be ready, and obviously we're going into the Hoyas' house, and they're tough to beat at home. So it's really going to be a huge fight, that day, and we're walking into the Lions' Den.
When you first started this program, your first few teams, it seemed like it was mainly New York, New Jersey girls. Now you look at this roster, you got Spain, New Zealand, England, Canada. Could you imagine the way the college game would evolve like this to having players from all over the world?
Yeah, it's, you take small steps and just envision getting, taking one step at a time. But I probably would have never envisioned having, the United Nations on the team that we have. But, it's an incredible opportunity for this program and, for me to coach players of this caliber. So it's pretty exciting. But I don't know if I would have ever envisioned that, especially all those years ago. But, I know, I envisioned this program winning the national championship. So we just need these players and these special players internationally to come in and help us.
You're finding more and more girls overseas. They like the opportunity to come to this country, get an education, and play at a high level. Soccer.
And I think the game's evolved. I think 20 years ago you would have never saw the money that England or Spain or New Zealand is funneling into their women's program. So with that being said, this is a very competitive playground to develop youth soccer for women especially. So, Canada's done a great job of coming in and really us developing them at the college level. And these other programs now are investing a lot of money in their youth programs. And with that being said, these kids want to continue to develop and represent their countries. And, the college game is a great opportunity for them to do that.
I think with you was like Noble and Cicchini from Canada were maybe the first Canadians that you brought over here.
Yep. So we had, Steph Rushton, obviously Amanda Cicchini, Deanna Everett. Those were probably our pioneers that came. And then we had others that followed, like Nick, and, I'm sure I missed a couple names. So.
Was it the success of those earlier girls that kind of spurred you on? I mean, maybe if it hadn't worked out with them, and maybe you shied away from
Probably, yeah. I mean, you want everything to be a right fit. And there's always been a great fit with Ontario kids. It makes sense, they're 5 hours away, and the environment that they've been coached in, fit pretty well of what we want to do here in their development. So it made a whole lot of sense, and they just loved West Virginia University and everything that this community brought, and made them real happy.
You had Riley in goal. She was in and out last year with the national team and so forth. What would having her here for a whole year do for her development?
Yeah, I mean, I think, that year last year coming in as a freshman and having to do what she did just speaks volumes of what type of kid she is. And, I give Riley a lot of credit for what she was able to manage. That's a lot to manage as a freshman. Not that Bianca or Vanessa didn't, but I think asking a freshman to do that was a whole lot. But it's going to be wonderful to have, Riley here and engaged and focused and worrying about one team. I mean, she's always developing for her ultimate goal, and that's to be the women's national team goalkeeper for Canada. But in the meantime, it's going to be really awesome to have her just focused West Virginia soccer.
Your expectations for Michaela this year? I see 12 goals last year, one of the big-time goal scorers in the Big 12 in the country.
13 goals is my expectation for Michaela. Yeah, I'm pushing the bar one more. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, there's huge. You know, pressure's a privilege, and I've said that, and you know, she's put herself in a position where, you know, she's set the bar, and it's a privilege for her to talk about 12 goals and to meet her expectation of 13, if that's what it is, or if 12's it. But you know, I can't speak enough about what Michaela did for us last year, and what her excitement is for this upcoming season.
But the St. Louis kid, do you envision her being the same type of role this year, same position?
Allie?
Allie,
Yeah, I mean, Allie, you know, was huge for us stepping into that defensive center mid position for us. And again, you know, I'm never lowering the bar here at this program. You're always pushing it and setting a higher standard of excellence. So for Allie and Mick, you know, there's no question that, you know, our expectation is even higher now that we've seen what they can do.
You talked with them about a theme at all for this year? You're still keeping that under wraps?
That's under wraps. No comment. No comment till we get the team. It's a real good one.
Have the T-shirts been printed?
They've been printed. You could try to sneak in there, do a little MacGyver, get yourself in that window. But yeah. I'll let you know next
Catchy?
week. It's catchy.
Catchy.
I don't know. After 22 years, I don't know how catchy it is anymore. I should stop that tradition right now. I could kick myself, to be honest with you.